Hi, welcome on the board, guys. I hope you are enjoying the channel and content. And today we are going to cover the new uh, topic related to the soil science again. And the good news is today is that we are going to start the new module that is module second. The first module is still not covered, but there are the few videos are still remaining on the first module. So I hope soon we'll upload those videos as well. In the magic case, there is a temperature is left in these videos and the irrigation also. But with the time, we'll upload all those videos as well on the YouTube channel. All right. So let's get started. Today we are going to discuss new topic that is the pedology, the first topic in the module second. So let's get started. I think you guys are ready. Just ready with your pen and paper. So let's get started these things. So what is the pedology? Is that? Did you hear this thing before? If you're not, so it's good for you and good for me as well. And if you hear this, that means it's very good for you and for me as well. So let's get started. So what is the pedology is basically? Pedology is basically made up of two root words. What are those two? Those two words are pedon plus logos. Logos. Okay. So what are these words are taken from? These are Greek word. Okay. Greek word. What is the pedology? Pedology is made up of two Greek words. The first one is a pedon and second one is a logos. I hope you guys are familiar with this from a very ancient time, like when you were in a class set till now, you are facing this word in each of your class that you get till now in the study. So I think we no need to discuss this one. So what about pedon? What is meaning by that pedon? So pedon mean is that simple soil. Okay. Soil. Okay, so logos mean that we always study is to study. Okay, so what is meaning by that pedology? Pedology is the study of soil. So that means this is the pedology. I hope you get it. Okay, what is meaning? Pedology is a made up of two words. What are these? Those two words are the pedon plus logos. Pedon is basically represent the soil and logos is to study. So study of soil. Okay, or these words are from the language of Greek. So, okay, let me just, okay. So what is meaning by that pedon? So basically, pedon is the smallest volume of soil. Smallest, smallest volume of soil that represent all the character of whole soil. That represent smallest volume or smallest unit, you can say. You can represent volume by the unit as well. So this is the smallest volume and smallest unit of soil that represent all the character. Represent whole soil profile. Whole soil profile. That is known as pedon, right? Size of pedon is very, it's very, according to area, it's maybe 1 meter square to 10 meter square. All right, there is one more thing. There is polypedon as well. So as we know, when poly come ahead than any of things, that means it's a combination of, it's a series of the same thing. So this is the polypedons is what? It's a multiplication of lots of pedons. That's simple. It's combination of lots of pedon. Simply we can call. All right. Okay. It formed the landscape. I think it's formed the major area. Oh my God. It represents the landscape. So there's a no fixed size we have in a polypedon, right? Cool. So the area of pedo, sorry, the size of mm, just okay. If we talk about if we talk about shape or size of pedon, what it would be. So size we already know, 1 meter square to 10 meter square. What about the shape? Shape is hexagonal. It's important. Hexagonal. I hope it's clear to you. Okay, cool. So let's get into the definition of the pedology. What is the pedology, by the way? We understood we understood the root word where it's made up of. So let's get into the definition as well. So things would be the more clear to us. So pedology is basically study of soil in reference to in reference to origin, classification, and distribution. These are the major things. Origin are the important one. Origin, classification, and distribution of soil is called pedology. Okay, is that clear to you? What is the pedology? Pedology is a study of soil in reference to origin, how the soil is formed, classification, how classification occur about the soil, and distribution, where the which type of soil is present. So this pedology is deal with these three things. Cool. All right. Now it's clear to you. Okay. There is a major thing to remain to study. There is according to pedology, soil is natural body. This is very important. Always remember these things. It it frequently asked in the examination from the past few years, so you guys can mark it very important. Like it would be appear appear in future examination as well. So according to pedology, soil is a natural body. In initial initial lecture where we were study about the introduction of the soil science, where we did study about the two branches of the soil science. There was a ethology as well and pedology as well. We did a small discussion there. So according to ethology, there was soil was natural habitat. I'm just trying to give an overview about that because of you so that you can recall the things. It would be easy for you to remember the things for the longer time. All right, cool. Let's move on. Okay, there is Earth. We are going to study about the Earth. Okay, what is the Earth? How it is look like? Let me draw first. This. This is our Earth. All right. Please do not go on my drawing because I'm a big fan of Maznubai, so I do not know how to draw them diagrams. Cool. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let me just change the color. The first layer you can see. This is called pot or crust. It's a poor voice. Let me be serious. Okay, so first layer of our that we on which the soil exists, that is earth crust. Okay, what is the thickness of the that earth crust? The thickness of earth crust is 5 to 56 kilometers. This thing keep to remember for the examination. What is this uh, thickness of earth crust? That is 5 to 56 kilometers. And there is another thing to remember is that what is the density of earth crust? So density of earth crust is 2.65 to 3 gram per cc or centimeter cube. This is also important. But what we study? The first layer, the upper layer of earth crust where the soil exists, that is known as earth crust. The thickness of earth crust is 5 to 56 kilometers. What is the density of the earth crust? Is 2.65 to 303 gram per centimeter cube. Simple as that. Let's move to the next one. What is the next thing we have? So this one is a remand. Okay. What is this called? This is the mental part. Mental is not that mental that you call people psycho. Are you mental? No, this is the mental. But okay, so this is the mental part. What is the thickness of mental? After the earth crust, we have the mental inside the earth. So thickness of mental is 2900 kilometers. Is that clear to you guys? These things are important remaining for the remember for the examination. They will come again in future. Whenever you're going to attempt any of competition exam, you'll face these kind of things. If you are going for the soil science and if you are going to any of examination that contain the bit of portion of soil science, so you may guys face these kind of things. So please keep remember these things for the later on. What is the thickness of mantle? It's a 2900 kilometers. And what is the density of mantle? That is 3 to 4.5 gram per centimeter cube. Cool? Is that clear to you guys? We did study about the first part, that is the uppermost, is that earth crust. The thickness was 5 to 56 kilometer and density was 2.65 to 3 gram per centimeter cube. And what about the second part that come is that mantle. So the thickness of mantle is 2900 kilometers and the density of mantle is 3 to 4.5 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. There are few more. Okay, there is one more part we have inside. That part known as this one. Okay, so this is the last part. Let me just erase the this thing so we can write. We may get a space so where we can write our things. Cool. So this is the last part. This is the innermost part that is known as this is the innermost part of Earth that is core. Core is the innermost part. So what is the thickness of core? So thickness is 3500 kilometers. In case of mantle, it was 2900 kilometer. In case of earth crust, it was 5 to 56 kilometer. But in case of the core, the thickness was highest. That was 3500 kilometers. All right. What is the density? The density of core is 9 to 12 gram per centimeter cube. I hope it's clear to you. What is the density of core? The density of core is 9 to 12 gram per centimeter cube. All right, this is the innermost part. In this part, in core, the temperature is too much. Whenever we go like this, the temperature increase with the depth. All right, is it clear to you? When we go inside the earth crust and the earth, like well, first we'll face the earth crust, then we'll face the mantle, then we'll face to the core. Whenever we go to inside the soil, sorry, inside the earth, then temperature increase with the per per kilometer or per unit area of per unit depth of earth, the temperature will be increase. So, right. So in the innermost part, there are two element are maximum. What are those two element? Is that nickel and iron in melt form, in form of in form of sorry for delay, guys. There was a disturbance. I always, as before, I always said, I live in a house. There is a chaos is always there. So let it be. Move to the what we were discussing last time. So we were on in the center part or in an innermost part there that we called is core. There is a two element in a maximum quantity. These two are nickel or iron in the form of melt. Cool? Cool. All right. So I hope it's clear to you. We did discuss here we did study about the earth crust, mantle or core, or bit of about the earth structure. There is one thing remaining, that is if they ask you about the density of whole earth crust, that is also important one. Density of whole earth crust, then what it would be? The density of whole earth crust would be 5.5 gram per centimeter cube. Is that clear to you guys? Okay, let's move to the next one. We are, we are just taking the introduction of pedology. What is the exact pedology we are going to study? So for the delay, by the way, there was a bit of disturbance, so I mute myself and go there. I go there to sort out the things. So there is a part of, you know, everybody's life. So I have to do to manage these certain things as well at the time of recording these kind of things. But I always assume and expect that it should not be happening between the lectures. So sorry for that. Okay, no worries at all. So the new topic is that composition of earth crust. Composition of earth crust. Composition of composition of earth crust. Okay. So this is the new topic. What is the composition of earth crust? What kind of element present in the earth crust? So we already discussed the thickness. We already know the density. We already know. Okay. So which elements are maximum in the earth crust? We'll do the study about that. What the actual earth crust contains. So first element that is the maximum in the earth crust, that is the oxygen, and then second one is a what is the second one? You guys can. Second one is a silicon, and third one is aluminium, and the fourth one is iron, and the fifth one is calcium, and the sixth one is They are the 6, 7, 8, and 9 as well, but the question is not asked from these last. So I would like to keep these things in a one number, all right, in a six one. There are magnesium, potassium, and sodium as well. Cool. So let's discuss about what is the percentage. These, okay, these are looking like a quite weird. So let me just write these things very in a clear manner so you guys can get the maximum clarity. So what is this composition of earth crust? Composition of earth crust. Okay. What is in an earth crust? First oxygen, then second. How much percentage oxygen we have? Any guesses? So you guys may pause the video as well. So it at the same time it will help you to boost your preparation. Cool. 4.6. Oh my God. Focus, focus, focus. Presence of mind, guys. Okay. Okay. The percentage of oxygen in the earth crust is 46.6%. All right. This is the maximum amount that we have. Which element is the maximum in the earth crust? That is the oxygen. Cool. The second maximum element in earth crust is that silica. What is the percentage of silica in the earth crust? Is that 27.72%. That is the second, second maximum element. Cool. Both are non-metal. Both are non-metal. Cool. If we'll if we'll plus, okay, what is the percentage if we'll keep together and if we'll it's a 74.3 percentage. Okay, oxygen plus silicon is made up 74.3% part of the earth crust. Basically, that is the non-metal. I hope it's clear to you. Let's move to the third one. Third one is aluminium. How much percentage aluminium in the earth crust? 8.13 percentage. Cool. This is the maximum percentage metal element. Those two were those two were non-metal, but first maximum percentage of any metal element we have, that is the aluminium. Okay, what is the percentage? 8.13 percentage. Cool. Let's move to the next one. That is the iron. That is 4. What is the percentage of iron in the earth crust? That is 5%. What about the fifth? That is calcium. That is 3.63 percentage. If they ask in the question, dominant cation in earth crust. Earth crust. So answer would be the calcium. Cool. There were few remaining as well, but the question is not particularly depend on this. So there's no need to go what is the percentage of these things. So ultimately this gonna create, bit of disturbance for you. So why we do remember these things if the examiner not interested in these. So there is a reason why we are not getting touched upon this percentage. Cool. So let's revise these things. What are these? First one is what we are explaining here. There is the composition of earth crust. What kind of elements and what kind of percentage in that particular element in have in earth crust. So the first one is the maximum, that is earth crust, 46.6%. That is the maximum element that we have in the earth crust, all right, which is the non-metal. Cool. The second one is a silicon, the silica, that is 27.72%. That is second non-metal element in the earth crust we have. If we combine both, it made up of 74.3% part of the earth crust, both two only. So the third is aluminum, that is the first maximum metal element that we have in the earth crust. The percentage is 8.13%. All right. What about the iron? That is the number fourth. The percentage is 5.5%. Simple. Calcium is 3.63%. The maximum cation, dominant cation we have in the earth crust is calcium. I hope it's clear to you guys. This is the very simple things. Let's move to the next one. All right. In 16 kilometer, in 16 kilometer of earth crust, we found 106 elements. We already discovered how much elements? 106. Whether you can say known element in the earth crust up to 16 kilometer. This is the 16, by the way. Known, non-element, non-element, non-element in earth crust up to 16 kilometer of earth crust. What is the number? 106 element are known. Cool. Okay. But only out of 106 elements, 106 elements, only 8 elements, only 8 elements form 98.6 part of earth crust. Cool. Only 8 element out of the 106 element, they form the 98.6 part of the whole earth crust. Cool. Okay. There are the few elemental group composition, elemental, based on elemental group composition. Elemental group composition is what? These are just element. Uh, these are just element on basis of the reaction, their behavior toward the things. These groups are formed. What these are? What is this? These are 5 in number. The first one is that lithophiles. What the quality of lithophiles? They are rapidly ionized. They are rapidly ionized with oxygen and form stable oxygen. Stable oxygen. Cool. Lithophiles are those element group which rapidly ionize with oxygen. They represent in the environment, so and form the stable oxygen ion. Cool. The second one is that chalcophiles. Chalcophiles are those elemental group which form the covalent bond with the sulfide. What is the specialty of chalcophiles? Element which form covalent bond with sulfide. Okay. Chalcophiles are those elemental group which form the elemental bond with the sulfide, covalent bond with the sulfide. Cool. Not element. The first we did study we did is we did a study about there was lithophiles. What was the quality about the lithophiles? Rapidly ionized with oxygen. And the second we did a study is that chalcophiles. What is the quality of chalcophiles? They form the covalent bond with the sulfide. Cool. My you know, whenever uh, whenever I try to go make my word very fluent, then I go stuck. What should we speak? So that happens. I've fumbled many times. It's just because of that I do not have an environment to speak English. So that may be the reason why. Otherwise, the things are very amazing with me. Otherwise, at all. Whenever I get them, before I hope in last two lectures the fluency was on the top, but it's been a 5 days not speaking a single word in that language. So it always creates a hurdle for me to speak. Nobody at all, but things will be changed with the time. I hope in the second lecture you guys will see me with the better speaking habit. That's maybe the reason. Ooh. Okay, the third one is siderophiles. The third elemental group is siderophiles. What are the siderophiles, by the way? Siderophiles are those elements which form the metal bond. That's mean siderophiles elements which form bond with bond with metal. Siderophiles are those elements which form the bond with the metals, like iron. We in most of the cases we see sidero. Uh, Most of the times you will see iron to make. Okay, let's do the next forward. Atmophiles. My energy getting down. Let's just complete this topic, and with the new lecture we'll discuss the topics. Today is just an introduction, so that's maybe the reason. And the things I want to tell you in between the lecture itself. I did not read these things before, so before I'm telling to you on board, I just reading the things and just I'm representing in front of you. I I did not read these things before. Like in my study time, I did, but today just in front of you, I'm just getting things and I'm just representing those. Cool. So that may be the reason that I'm getting a bit of confused at the time of explaining the things. It's not about the confusion. It's about that it's been a time to you know repeat these things or the revise these things. So that's maybe the reason why that things are happening to me. So what is the atmophiles? Atmophiles present in the atmosphere in a gaseous form. Elements which are present in the atmosphere in the form of gas. These things are very simple. I can, without watching the content, I can tell you all five. First one was lithophiles, which was getting readily ionized with oxygen. The second one was chalcophiles, who was interested in the forming the bond with sulfide, and the third one was the siderophiles, who form the bond with the metals. And third is atmophiles, which is present in the atmosphere in the form of gas. And the last that we have on board is that the biophiles. The name is suggested biophiles. That means they are talking about the microbes or organism. So associate with the living organism. Organism. Organism, element. Cool. Element, those associated with the living organism, those known as biophiles. Cool. I hope it's clear to you guys all the five elemental group that we covered here. If we'll get the time, we'll discuss these things later on a very deep into dive. Today my energy is a bit low just because of that. I already reducing the certain things, so that's maybe the reason. And you guys may follow because of that I am posting these lecture. I get three offers from the different coaching institutions, so that's maybe the moment of proud. Like they are interested in me. Whenever I have to show them these simple videos that I'm recording, that I'm posting on the YouTube, they guys are interested to bring me on board. So you guys can see their enthusiasm to take me as a teacher on board in their institution. So you guys see like how kind of content that I'm presenting on board, and I'm referring to you. So that's all about it. So you guys can don't take it very lightly. These things are very quite unique, and if you go for the books and getting such these kind of things, you'll get confused too much, and it's all about you. All right. So let's wipe wind up this lecture. Okay, let's finish the things here, and I'll meet you again with the new lecture. I hope you guys will come again with the new energy. Like today's, I'm totally in a wait. Okay, so signing off. Cheers.